shoulders we will always stand, who have been the guiding force in our family, have helped us make so many decisions, so many choices about the kinds of family we want to raise, all based on all of the choices that they made, with joy in their hearts and smiles on their faces despite everything they had been through. But it gives me nechama, and I hope it brings our family nechama, comfort, that that generation had a chance to see a Shlomo, much like Ruth had a chance to see a Shlomo. That generation had a chance to see a Shlomo, a boy who takes his davening seriously and his learning seriously, and in just a few moments will make a siyum on Seder Moed, having committed to learn many, 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 many Mishnayos over the last 2 years? Year and a half? Yeah. We are incredibly proud of you. You bring our family so much joy. We are grateful to Hashem for giving you to us and all of your siblings to us. Just a note of thanks to our parents, all of our friends and family who have gathered here from everywhere. You have literally carried us for many years, but in particular this week. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Shlomo, you have been a nechama to our family. Your simcha has been a nechama to our family. Shlomo, I'm talking to you. We have a lot of jokes we make about Shlomo. One of them is that he hasn't been in a rush since the day that he was born, when he was in a big rush, until yesterday, when he laned, and then again he was in a big rush. So there's something, every 13 years, I'm expecting him to be in a rush. Okay, without further ado, can I call Shlomo up? Do you want to call him up? Okay, again, thank you all very much. Mazel tov. Thank you for being here.
Okay, I'd like to ask Shlomo before to come up for his siyum, which again to thank his rebbeim in Atlanta, with whom he started as rebbeim here in Montreal, the Chavrusa Chagai. Truly, for me, all of the boys, Benjamin and Ephraim and now Shlomo, have made a siyum on Seder Moed, and I have learned several of the Masechtas with him. Shlomo, truly the greatest pleasure of getting ready for your bar mitzvah has been carving out the time to learn. You are a pleasure and an absolute delight to learn with. And it's only our hope and tefillah that we continue to challenge you and push you to become the Talmid Chacham that you are clearly capable of becoming. I have only one thing to add before he makes a siyum, and that's one addendum to the story that Rivka shared. She left out only one detail, which is the most important detail, and that is as that nurse was pricking and prodding and trying to get the IV into her arm. They're doing a terrible job, and she's bleeding all over the place. And the nurse starts walking around to the other arm to work on that arm. And Rivki gives me this look with her eyes, and she screams through her eyes, and she says, "Please, do something. Save me from this woman." And I don't have anything to do, so I do the only thing possible. I take the nurse for myself. I faint. I hit my head. And that nurse comes running to me, and she gets another nurse. And all I get is grief. I don't understand how you left out that detail. So, on behalf of all the men out there, thank you. I did what I needed to do selflessly. You're welcome. Without any further ado, Shlomo Akiva, our mitzvah boys, make a siyum on Seder Moed. Shlomo had prepared a second speech from the one that he gave yesterday. He was going to give a whole shtickle Torah on making a bracha as a bar mitzvah boy in the middle of Sfira. But we decided last minute that since the speech that he delivered beautifully yesterday was not really heard by everybody, he's going to say that one again, this time with the microphone. I'll slower, but we'll see.
Third Sunday. Thank you for joining me at my bar mitzvah. Everyone who knows me knows that I have a very interesting relationship with food. For those of you who don't know me so well, it can be summarized as follows. I don't like most of it. My parents like to say I've always had a very discerning palate, and only a select number of food items have passed my like test. So of course it only makes sense. Make it lower. So of course it only makes sense that the entire second half of my parsha that I read yesterday morning should be focused on food. The Torah describes with great detail the criteria for animals, fish, and birds that either permit them to be eaten or forbid them. If it were up to me, I would have reshortened everything and just put on perfectly fried schnitzel. And I would like to point out that the Torah spends much more time on what we cannot eat than what we can. One of the forbidden birds listed that we're not allowed to eat is a chasida bird. The chasida bird's name is derived from the familiar word of kindness, or chesed, or kindness. Rashi describes that indeed the chasida bird is named for the fact that it does tremendous kindness by sharing its food with chavirav, or its friends. Which begs the question, why then is this bird, which is defined by its kindness, listed amongst the unclean, non-kosher birds that we may not eat? Doesn't it display the principal Jewish trait of kindness, one of the three pillars upon which the world stands, as it is taught in the beginning of Pirkei Avos? The Chidushei Harim, Rav Yitzchak Meir Rottenberg Alter, the first Ger Rebbe, explained that when the Hasidah bird displays kindness, its kindness is treif. This is because the Hasidah bird only shares its food, as Rashi's language highlighted, with its own kind, with its friends. But if a bird was not in the Hasidah bird's inner circle, it had no interest in helping it. And that is not the Jewish trait of kindness. It's easy to be kind to your friends and the people you already know and like. Chesed is the ability to be kind when you don't know the recipient, or even better, you don't particularly like them. We're all nice to our friends. We all go out of our way to help them, even if it is not easier at a convenient time. But that is called friendship, not kindness. Chesed, Jewish kindness, is when we go out of our way specifically for people not in our inner circle. This is an appropriate message for the time of year that we are currently in. We are now in the period of Sfiras HaOmer, which has become a time of sadness and mourning for the Jewish people. The Gemara teaches us that Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students who died between Pesach and Shavuos. It's a staggering number. The loss of Torah to the Jewish people is impossible to measure. So why did they die? What could cause such a loss? The Gemara explains, because they did not treat one another with respect. There simply isn't anything more important than treating one another, every single person, with respect and dignity. I thought this was an appropriate message for my bar mitzvah for two reasons. Firstly, as someone who just recently joined my class, moving from another country, I can really appreciate how important it is to go out of your way to kids who are not part of the Chevra. This is a message I can strive for and also take the opportunity to thank my classmates for all of your help in making my transition smooth and welcoming me. Thank you. Secondly, it is also a chance for me to thank all of you. As has been mentioned, I dedicated my bar mitzvah project to my good friend Shane Gold. Shane is an amazing person, but she was diagnosed with ML4, a Jewish genetic disease which has made it difficult to walk, talk, or do any other physical activity. My family and the Golds have been friends for a long time, so it wasn't hard for me to choose this for my project. In fact, I couldn't think of doing anything else. But for all of you here in Montreal, some of you don't know Shindy or the Golds, you helped me surpass my goal and raise over $25,000. That is true kindness, and for that I am extremely thankful. My hope and feel is that the doctors and researchers that you're helping to find, with God's help, find a cure for Shindy and the other children with MF4 very soon. Speaking of thank yous, I would like to say a very special thank you to my parents, Mom and Daddy. Thank you so much for always being there for me and helping me on my path to hopefully becoming as great of a person and parent that you two have always been. Mommy, thank you for always believing in me and coping with me for hours, trying to get me to try something new that I will actually end up liking. You get a special shout out for making me try schnitzel, other types of schnitzel, your delicious Pesach schnitzel, hamburgers, steak, and everything else that I eat. Thank you. Daddy, thank you so much for teaching me my Parsha and Haftorah, helping me with my speeches, learning Mishnah with me, and being such a great parent and rabbi. Thank you. I'd also like to thank all the guests from out of town who came. First of all, everyone in my class, Donnie and Abraham Grossblatt, all the Hermans, wherever they are, the Bachrim, all the Atlanta people, Brash, Keller, Kavanetsky, Kalnitz, Oberman, Harry Green from Israel, Gold, of course, Yossi, and all of my family from Israel, Doda Shira, Doda Dina, son Eitan, Uncle Avi, my grandparents, my grandfather was not able to come, my grandmother, and yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
Shlomo's not going to make a siyum on the Seder Moed. The last Masechta we finished was Maseches Pesachim. This is the last part of the last Mishnah.
Virach Eshel Zerach, Lo Patar Eshel Bazach, Divi Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Akiva Omer, Lo Zov Poter Zov, Lo Zov Poter Zov. Hadaran Olach Seder Moed, Hadaran Olan, Datan Olach Seder Moed, V'data Cholan. Lo Nisna Sheminach Seder Moed, V'lo Sisna Sheminan, Lo Bilma Hadein, V'lo Bilma Tasei. Hadaran Olach Seder Moed, V'dara Cholan. Datan Allah Seder Moed, V'data Cholan, Lo Nisna Sheminach Seder Moed, V'lo Sisna Sheminan, Lo Bilma Hadein, V'lo Bilma Tasei. Hadaran Allah Seder Moed, V'dara Cholan. Datan Allah Seder Moed, V'data Cholan. Lo Nisna Sheminach Seder Moed, V'lo Sisna Sheminan, Lo Bilma Hadein, V'lo Bilma Tasei. Hier is ook vandaag Adonai Elohim Lehem Seinushit Tehei Sorsecha Uman Useinu Elohim Zeh Ozehei Imanu Olam Haba Chanina bar Papa, Rami bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achai bar Papa, Abba Mari bar Papa, Rachman bar Papa, Rachesh bar Papa, Surcha bar Papa, Ada bar Papa, Dabar bar Papa. Herat no Adonai Elohim Estebei Sorsecha Befinu V'Fiam Chal B'Yisrael V'Niacholanu Anachnu V'Tetzeinu V'Tetzeinu Chal B'Yisrael Kleinu Dishamecha V'Mdeis Nosecha Me'ovai Techa K'meini Mitzvosecha Ki L'Lom Hi L'Pi Samim B'Chokecha L'man Lo Yivo Shalom Lo Eshkach B'Dei Ki Vam Chisani Baruch Ato Adonai L'Amdei Chokecha Amen 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 Salam Vayid Modi Unach Melach Shata Hu Adonai Elohim Lehem Esheinu Chavosar Yisvein Yotzer Bereshis Brachos Vados Yisrucha Gidol HaKadosh Al Sheikh Chisanu V'Kiyam Tanu Kein Techayenu Uskayenu V'Zaysof V'Zayseinu Chachos Chachicha Lishmor Chodecha V'Sot Sinecho Ulovtecha V'Livav Shalim Al Shenach Modim Lach Baruch Elodos Hirushov Melech Adonai Elohim Lehem Esheinu Kishem She'azartani L'Sayim Seder Moed Kein Tazreni L'Atchil Masertos V'Sfarim Acherim L'Saimon L'Lod L'Almei L'Shmar V'Lasos L'Kayim B'Skol Devei Samut Torsecha V'Avos Chos Kol Tanayim V'Amorim V'Talmidei Chacham V'Amod Li V'Zari Shalosh Amush HaTorah V'Pi V'Zari Zera Zari Adolam Siskayim Bi V'His Halachecha Tadche Osaf V'Shachpecha Tishmor Alecha V'Hakitosa Hi Tisichecha Ki V'Yarvu Yamecha V'Yosifu Ki V'Cha Shnos Chayim O Rachamim B'Mina Oser V'Chavoy B'Zmola Adnai Demoitin Adnai Rachas Mo Mashalom Skirash Meraba Yamadi Rachas Yamadi Hu Asid Nischadas L'Achia Messiah L'Asaka L'Chayason L'Chaya Yalma L'Medinei Karta Yerushalayim L'Shachlel Hechala V'Davo L'Mekar Kulchana Nuchra'a Le'ara L'Atava Kulchana Dishmaya L'Sarei Yamik B'Char B'Recho V'Machosei V'Tarei V'Chayachon V'Mchan V'Chayachol V'Shira B'Aglos Makrim V'Remain Yishmir Bama Barak L'Amil L'Agais Barak Barish Mamis Nevis Rabbi Salash Meir Shab B'Recho Yamik B'Chasa V'Shvasa V'Chasa V'Nachamasa Dam Rabbi Remain V'Chasa V'Alra V'Nagato V'Deho V'Akom Savadisa V'Deho V'Akom Vandaskin V'Vasa V'Divasar Hadein V'Divi Chasar V'Sar Yilchon Kolachon Shkabara V'Chin V'Chit V'Rachamin V'Chayin V'Chin Muzana V'Chai V'Kana Min Kola Min Kadam Avon Dishmai V'Yarav V'Remain Yishol Rabbi V'Shmai V'Chayim Tavim Len V'Koshal V'Remain V'Shol Rabbi V'Shmai V'Koshal V'Remain
Come on, everybody, let's get on the dance floor. Sing the
Hallelujah.